Greetings and welcome. Subscribe the channel Thermal Engineering for video sessions. This is video session on effectiveness of parallel flow heat exchanger. In this session, you will be able to explain effectiveness for parallel flow heat exchanger. Now the question is why effectiveness is required in heat exchanger analysis. The method of analysis of heat exchanger using log mean temperature difference has limitations for its use, because in order to estimate the log mean temperature difference of the heat exchanger, we must know the inlet and outlet temperatures of hot and cold fluids which are flowing through this tubular structure. The term effectiveness is defined as the ratio of actual heat transfer rate to the maximum possible heat transfer rate in a heat exchanger. Its formula is epsilon is equal to actual heat transfer rate, means Q, divided by maximum possible heat transfer rate, means Q max. It is a dimensionless parameter. It is the measure of how well the heat exchanger is performing. However, the maximum heat transfer will occur when one of the fluids, means hot fluid and cold fluid, will undergo maximum possible temperature change. Means fluid having smaller heat capacity, means product of mass flow rate and specific heat, will undergo maximum temperature change. Here general formula of effectiveness is given in this way: mCp delta T of hot fluid or same of cold fluid divided by mCp of smaller value or smaller heat capacity multiplied by temperature difference at inlet, means TH1 and TC1. There are two types of heat effectiveness. First is effectiveness of parallel flow heat exchanger and effectiveness of counter flow heat exchanger. In this video session, we will see effectiveness of parallel flow heat exchanger. So here the diagram for parallel flow. This is a hot fluid line and this is cold fluid line moving in the same direction. TH1 and TC1 are the hot fluid and cold fluid temperatures at inlet. Similarly, TH2 and TC2 are the hot and cold fluid temperatures at outlet. Delta T1 is a temperature difference at inlet and delta T2 is a temperature difference at outlet. Length of heat exchanger is capital L. Let us assume that heat capacity of hot fluid is smaller than that of cold fluid, means here mCp H less than mCp C. So for this condition, effectiveness formula that already we have seen in a last video in NTU effectiveness. So here this effectiveness is given as TH1 minus TH2 divided by TH1 minus TC1. This will say as equation number 1. Then heat transfer is written for the cold fluid and for hot fluid. For cold fluid, mCp into TC2 minus TC1. For hot fluid, mCp into TH1 minus TH2. So here TC2 minus TC1, these are what temperature difference between cold fluid outlet temperature and inlet temperature. And this TH1 minus TH2, this is inlet temperature minus outlet temperature. because here TH1 is higher temperature and TH2 is lower temperature. That's why TH1 minus TH2. And here TC2 is a higher temperature, TC1 is a lower temperature. So higher minus lower. Say this is the equation number 2. Now capacity ratio formula is general. We can have MCP minimum divided by MCP maximum, by the assumption minimum MCP is for hot fluid divided by MCP for cold fluid. Say equation number 3. So if you observe equation 2 and 3, here you will see that this left side and this right side of the equation is the same. So we can equate now. C is equal to this. So C is equal to capacity ratio, we get formula TC2 minus TC1 divided by TH1 minus TH2. Equation number 4. Now from equation number 1 we can, from this equation we can take this term left side. So TH1 minus TC1 is equal to TH1 minus TH2 divided by epsilon. Again, by taking TC1 on one side of the equation and other terms on other side, we get this. After that, separating this denominator and this minus sign, if we take inside the bracket, then it becomes plus. So we find this equation, say equation number 5. So now from equation 4, putting value of TC1 in equation number 5. So here this is a equation, from 4 we got TC1 value. So this expression we can put in equation number 5. So here TC2 minus TC1 is equal to C into TH1 minus TH2. First of all, this equation number from 4 equation, this we have written this line, and then here at the place of TC1, then we have put this expression that is inside this bracket. Now solving the bracket, there will be what? Changing in the signs. So TC2 is equal to TH1 minus TH1 upon epsilon, TH2 upon epsilon plus C TC1 minus C TH2. Now here what we did, this C multiplied with this inside two terms. So that's why here this is equation number 6. Now we know that already we have discussed delta T1 means temperature difference at inlet, that is TH1 minus TC1. Once again we write for TC1 the expression already we discussed here in this bracket. Now in this, what we find that this TH1 and this TH1, when we solve the bracket, will get cancelled to each other. Remaining will be what? Here will be this minus minus plus TH1 upon epsilon, and this minus plus minus TH2 upon epsilon. So delta T1 will be equal to TH1 minus TH2 divided by epsilon. So we got temperature difference at inlet formula, say equation 7. Follow the same process for delta T2, temperature difference at outlet. So TH2 minus TC2. Now for TC2 we have this expression, equation number 6. So write these all terms, right side all terms, okay, inside this bracket. Now solving this bracket means changing the all signs inside, because here is a minus sign. So here again we will do one thing, take all the terms having 2 suffix together. So TH2 minus TH2 by epsilon plus C TH2, and all terms together having suffix 1 means TH1 this th1 by epsilon and this c th1. Then take th2 common from these terms and take th1 minus th1 common from these terms. So we will have here th2 minus th2 bracket here 1 minus 1 upon epsilon plus c minus th1 another bracket 1 minus 1 upon epsilon plus c bracket complete. Now here we have this bracket and this bracket is same, so we can simplify, means we can take this, we can write common this bracket to the next step. So we got this now, delta T2 formula, th1 minus th2 into 1 upon epsilon minus 1 minus c. Now here what we did, here is a th2 minus th1 and we have written th1 minus th2, means we have changed signs inside, all the signs. Now heat transfer rate through the heat exchanger is mcp h into th1 minus th2. Also we have formula for overall transfer coefficient form UA delta Tm. So now we can equate this right side and this right side and we can write here. Now here delta Tm is what? Log mean temperature difference. So that log mean temperature difference we write here, that is delta T1 minus delta T2 divided by ln of delta T1 upon delta T2. So there is a separate video session that already we have uploaded on the YouTube channel, there you can see. Now here arranging the terms, th1 minus th2 divided by this delta T1 minus delta T2 left side, then this ln term we take here, UA right side divided by this mcp means heat capacity we brought right side. Now this equation number 9, in that this is what? NTU means number of transfer units, that is equation number 10. So from 9 and 10 we can write here for the expression, this expression already we have on the left side, that we can write for this right side as a NTU. So further NTU is equal to, once again we wrote this equation. Now we have to substitute delta T1 and delta T2 expressions which already we have got from equation 7 and 8. So NTU is equal to th1 minus th2 into natural log. Now delta T1, first of all, this is a expression at the numerator, and delta T2, this is a expression at the denominator, divided by here th1 minus th2 upon 1 upon epsilon, this is for delta T1 and this is for delta T2. So now further what we can do now, we can have here common term th1 minus th2 here. So next step you see here at the numerator th1 minus th2 we took common, also here th1 minus th2 we took common. So this and this will get cancelled and this will get cancelled. So remaining is natural log of all these terms divided by these square bracket terms. Further we can have here next to this 1 upon this we can solve. So LCM we will take here as epsilon, and here we will find this 1 minus epsilon minus c epsilon, this. Now at the base here this and this term will get cancelled, then this will become plus 1 and this will become plus c. So NTU is equal to, again here this epsilon will get cancelled in next step. So remaining terms we will have here. Then take this 1 plus c left side. Then taking here antilog of both side, because we have to remove this natural log. So taking antilog means write the equation e raised to something, that is here. So e raised to NTU bracket 1 plus c is equal to this term. After that write here minus sign. When we write minus sign left side, we can change the or exchange the numerator and denominator. So this denominator, all the terms comes at the numerator. For that here minus sign comes. So that is what mathematical arrangement. Then take this epsilon common from this. So 1 plus c comes here. Next step here, epsilon 1 plus c is equal to 1 minus e raised to this term. Then 1 plus c we take on the right side. So we find this formula for effectiveness. 1 minus e raised to minus NTU bracket 1 plus c divided by 1 plus c. This is a equation of effectiveness for parallel flow heat exchanger. So at the end of this session, now you can explain effectiveness derivation for parallel flow heat exchanger. So subscribe the channel for further video sessions. Thank you.